All right, let's begin this class this morning with the Gospel of John. If you turn page 232.
我们现在来看希腊文学法，约翰福音。
Read a couple of verses from John chapter 1. I think we got down to, we began at verse 15, did we? Did we get 15 yesterday?
We'll start with 15.
We start with 15? All right. Now what's this first word for John the Baptist? Verse 15.
第15节，约翰的名字怎么讲？约翰。
How do you pronounce that first word?
It's here.
That's right, Ioannis. That's John, Ioannis. Witness, and the word for witness. The next word.
见证，这是见证。
Next word. Next word. Martyre. And the next word for or in behalf of.
为的是。
Are we on the top of the page now?
为的。
What is it?
Are we on the top of page 233 now?
Yes, top of page 233. Peri, that's right, Peri. The word for him. Two, all right? And the word for and. Kai.
然后
The word for cried out.
然后大声喊。
Kekla, yeah. That's right, Kekla. And then the word for saying.
然后说。
Word for saying. Lego. And he, the word for him. Putos. Rough or smooth breathing.
是吹气还是不吹气？
Rough or smooth breathing. Rough, okay.
是要吹气，
Putos.
要气。
And the next word for am.
吐气。
Excuse me?
Okay.
Excuse me?
Okay. Rough or smooth
Could you tell me where you are? Are you on line 16?
233, the very top.
15.
Okay.
Very top, the top line.
All right, thank you.
Aim. Putos and now, what's the next word? Hon, not home. Hon, rough breathing, and then the next word for speak or say?
说。
Apon. Now notice, you have hon, apon is in bold letters.
他这个字就是刚讲的加强了。
Notice footnote 3.
他下面有注释说。
The critical Gnostic rejection adds these two words. It should not be added.
他说那个诺斯底派的那个批判者，他们加了这两个字，不应该加在那里，加在底下那两个字。
Notice in the footnote margin, Lego is saying, Putos and Haepon.
Yeah.
They change, this is what should be there, but they change it. No, excuse me. Hon Apon is correct, but in the footnote, they change it to Putos and Haepon. They change it to Haepon. So this tells you, well, if it's a bold letter, you say, this is the correct Greek, but the false Greek changes it like in the footnotes.
OK， 所以你看的这个第三个注释，对不对？这个下角的注释就表示那个上面那个字被他们那个诺斯底派教派的人改成那括弧里头的字 ，OK， 这是不对的。
All right, so translating, Ioannis Martyre, John said, Hariautu, concerning him, Kai Keklage, and cried out, Legon, saying, Putos, this or he aimed on Apon. He is the one that I was speaking of. He is the one that I spoke of. 约翰喊着说，他就是。 Well, that's just part of the sentence. Okay, go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
Have you finished?
Well, yeah, I finished with the first part, so we got to go on. thought that was the end of the sentence. We have to go on.
Okay, let me just translate what you just said.
Yes.
Okay， 他说约翰他说他他就是I forgot.
John bare witness concerning him, saying, crying out, saying, "This is he of whom I spoke."
那个约翰喊着说，见证喊着说他就是我说到那个，我现在是按照他讲的翻译说并不是，这圣经上是讲，就是说那中文版圣经是15节，说约翰为他做见证，喊着说，这就是我曾说。
All right? Let's go on to the very end of that line. What's that word for thee?
然后那个冠词
What's that word?
那个字，
Not whole.
最后那个
Not
字
alone.
号，
Ha. Then the next word after?
然后这是冠词，然后现在这个字是什
Word
么？
for after? Epistle. Oh, sure, epistle. He who after then moved from, what's the word from me?
对，下面的
And the word for coming?
然后来
What is that word for coming?
来，这个来是
Not all, not all. They're what? They're coming us. See, you got to say those. They're coming us. Coming us. Coming. And then the word for in place of me or before me, before. Now here you have two accents. Why are there two accents?
为什么这地方有两个重音？为什么有两个重音？We studied that yesterday.
That's right. That's that in clinic, when you have that mu afterwards. And prostenmu. There's two accents.
这个地方有两个重音。
Okay. Coming after me, then the mu is what? The me is what? Mu. Then the word for become.
然后
Megane.
成为，
Then the word for that
然后那个
or because.
also 是因为
Okay, then before, the word for before.
在之前，相对在之前，
Again, you got two accents.
还有两个重音。
Protos. Okay, protos. Okay. And the word for was? Name. Name, okay.
是我
It's a long sentence.
这下面是我是
So, Yohanes from today, John, go witness to read out to concerning him, Kai Kekbraget, and cried out, saying, Putos ain, he was on Akon, the one I spoke of. Pisomu, he will comes after me, Echomenos and Prostan. Is preferred before me, Pati Protos mu ain, because he was before me. Lord Jesus was before John the Baptist.
他说约翰为他做见证，喊着说，这就是我曾说，那在我以后来的，反成了在我以前的，因他本来在我以前。Can I ask
Yes,
question?
yes.
There's one word. Oh yeah, on the second line on page 233, the first word. What does that mean?
After. Epistle, after.
我的问题是因为刚才我没有写下来，所以没有讲。233页第二行的第一个是什么意思？他说那是在后面，就是就是在我后面。
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, let's go with one more verse, number 16.
然后到第16节，
And it starts with what word? Kai. Notice that's in bold letters.
它是这个字
In
是
Dr. Scribner's
是加强。
annotated Greek New Testament, when everything's in bold, what does that indicate?
And the Anarchist critics have changed this
Okay,
word.
now this word is proper. This is the proper word in bold. But in the footnotes, it tells you how the not the critical pretext changes the word.
Yeah， 他说这个字，它是就是说它加强了，你可以看得出来。那就表示说这个字这个字就是说那个洛斯底教派的人他们改了这个字，所以在那个底下的注释上就可以看到。
So that word "kai," what's the footnote number? 4. So we've done it 4. What do they change it to? They change
他们
it.
改成什么字呢
Haughty.
What's your accent?
重点
Haughty.
haughty
And so in other words, that instead of
就是
and. They just change it. That's a little tiny change, but it's still a change.
他说这个就是那个字在原文里头是和，然后在这个他们改成那个。
So these other new versions, other than King James, would make it haughty or that instead of and. So small little change, but still it would change.
他说就是那个不同的版本就把这个和这个字改成那个 haughty， 所以虽然是一个很小的改变，可是还是改了。
Now there's no other Greek text but this Scribner's text that shows you the differences. It's the only one.
他说没有别的那个希腊版本，那个圣经希腊文的版本，有告诉你有这些的改过的字，但是只有这个版本给了我们这个，告诉我们。
That's why we carry this, and that's why we push this, because it shows you all the different theological changes.
所以这就是为什么老师他们把这些书带到这里来要给你们看这些改的字。
Don't we have this in English, but it's not on the table? Didn't Don put this in?
Well, what we have in English is this.
这个师母就说他们也有个英文版本，所以老师现在解释他的英文版本是怎么回事。
Our son D.A. Waite Jr.
老师的一个儿子
He put this King James Bible with bold letters and footnotes to show in the King James English the changes, just like they do in Greek.
所以老师的儿子一个儿子他就把这个钦定本，就是英文的钦定本这个改变的字，就像改变也是像这样子。他说那个有改的，他们被改的字，还在原文里头，还是在原版中间，他就是加强那个字，然后底下就是加了注释，是他们改的字。
So in order to correct, we have this in the English language, King James, with bold words and footnotes, just like this.
It's called the Doctored New Testament. The Doctored New Testament. The Doctored.
We call it the Doctored New Testament.
Doctor?
The Doctored.
D-O-C-T-O-R.
It's very good if you can't talk Greek.
The word doctored is something you change it.
OK，
The doctored.
英文就是说 doctored，这个。
All right, any other questions on that? Okay, continuing verse 16, we read the and
我们
from.
第一个是然后从
What's the word for from? Ek, all right, and Z, 2, all right, and then
然后
fullness.
满
That's good. Romatos. Romatos, the fullness. Now notice, it's 2, so what would be the gender or the case of 2?
它 to 是什么格？是什么格？
2, what would that be? Genitive
是应该是
relative.
所有格，
Genitive relative.
或者是
After preposition, you have the genitive
所有格。
of the fullness, and now 2, the word for him, right? What's the word for him?
他就是 that's the fourth
After
one。
pleromatos, what's the word for him?
他的受词。
The last word in line 3.
Last word in three.
2, okay?
That's line 3.
We,
然后下一个我们
word for all, not east, hemes. And word for all,
然后
contest. then receive,
然后接受接待
Allotment.
not go. All right, receive. The word for and,
然后
kai, and the word for grace.
然后安利
What's your accent?
重点
Not simply Karen, but
Karen
Karen. Not Karen, but Karen. All right, and then the word for
Tea.
and then the word for grace.
Harry.
What's your accent?
Haritos.
All right, so let me translate that 16. Kai ek tu Roma, and from the fullness again, or from his fullness, emes pantes aladaba, we have all received. Kai chanem adikaritas, and grace for grace.
这是16节
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why the beta is capital letter?
What is it? What is the question?
Beta. The beta is capital letter in the middle of them.
Okay, which one is that? Which line is that?
94.
Line 4 the third word
Well, if you look on your alphabet, see what the beta is in that. See if that's capitalized there. You see that the beta is very careful. What page is that?
page 19
Page 19, all right.
Oh, boy.
他的问题是说为什么在第四行第
Well,
三
you
个
see,
字
you see the beta, that's exactly the way it is in the Greek. Small beta.
It looks like smaller.
Oh, see.
It's like a tail.
Well, but you look at that beta in the book, it's the same as in the Greek text, right? It's not capital. It's a small beta. Right?
Yeah.
You see? You look at page 19, capital beta.
请看第19页那个 beta 是什么样子。他的问题是说，为什么在那第四行第三个字那个 beta 那么大要大写？所以老师说，我们去看我们的教科书第19页那个 beta， 它们一模一样，不过这个字看起来比较大。
Any other questions on this one?
Yes, let's see this word that I did not write it down. So.
Which line would that be?
I guess I did write everything. Yeah. Okay, I did. Thank you.
Okay, so then let's go on into verse 17.
然后到第17节，
All right, let's see. Yes, what's that first word for that?
那第一个字什么意思？怎么念？
What's your accent? Haughty. Haughty.
这个
Rough or smooth reading?
是要不是的，
Rough. Haughty. 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 And the word for thee?
然后
Not home? No.
换词，
Okay, and the word for law?
那个
Normal.
No, not nomos.
律法，
Nomos.
Normal.
What gender is nomos?
那 nomos 是什么性？是阳性，阴性
Masculine.
Masculine.
是阳性。
What tells us it's masculine? The hawk.
因为好，你怎么知道它是阳性？或者是 us， 或者是前面那个字是 ha 是阳性的冠词。
What gender is hawk?
ha 是什么的阳性 masculine。
What gender is nomos?
nomos 是什么性？是什么性？阳性masculine。
Have to be masculine. Neuter, article, and the noun have to be agreement.
对，就是冠词和那个名词一定要同样性。
Is it singular or plural?
是单数多数 singular
Singular.
是单数
That's right. Anonymous. The law. Okay.
那个律法
What's the next word?
底下的字
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah, which is through, and the word Moses.
经过，
Moses.
底下是摩西。
Mosaios, that's right, you got it, Mosaios.
Mosaios.
Now notice, through Moses or by Moses, and then this word for
经过摩西，
given,
然后给
not doth, was given. See, this is your passage, was given.
那个是被给，
And then the word, the article, the,
然后冠词
hey. What gender is hey?
feminine，
Feminine.
这
Oh.
它是阴性
What's the word for grace?
恩典，底下那个是
What
恩
is
典
it?。
Haris.
Charis. Right? So what gender is charis?
所以其实恩典那个是 Harris 是
What gender is charis?
阴性、阳性、中性。
To be feminine.
We know it's feminine. Why do we know it's feminine?
The
article and the noun always must agree.
我们为什么知道它是阴性？因为它前面的冠词是阴性。
Charis. Charis. And then the word for hand.
还有和，
For kai. Kai. The word for thee.
然后冠词
Hey.
Rough or smooth?
Rough.
Rough.
嘿
Hey. Hey.
嘿，
And the word for truth.
然后真理，底下那就是真理。
Word for truth.
Aletheia. Aletheia.
Aletheia. And then the word for by. Yeah. The word for Jesus.
耶稣，
Jesus. That's right. The word for also Greek.
Yes.
Word for Christ.
然后基督，
She's also in the class, so she's able to.
Cristo.
What? Priest.
Cristo.
Word for became.
成为
Ageniton. That's right, ageniton. Let's go back into that. Pati hanamos. Because the law, dia Mosaios, through Moses, at nothing was given. The law was given through Moses. He charis, the grace, kai dialete, and the truth, dia Jesu, the truth, through Jesus Christ was given.
他说，律法本是借，这是17节，律法本是借着摩西传的，恩典和真理都是由耶稣基督来的。
All right, let's go back into our textbook again.
所以我们再回到我们的那个教科书，
We covered this first
我
paragraph.
们现在23课，
That's it. Subjective and middle and passive.
所以我们第一段我们讲了，就是现在、假设、中间和被动式。
Now notice it says here the whom post positive adverb, therefore, then, and now. We didn't cover that.
No, we did not. We did
That's part of
not.
the vocabulary.
Yeah, that's right.
See, where did that come from? Yes, okay, this is always post positive, whom, therefore, then or now. What's this word, thus, in this manner? What is that one there?
这个是怎么念？我猜的意思是说，
Rough or smooth?
它是应该吐气的吗？
Rough breathing?
是要吐气，
Where's the accent?
重音点在哪里？
Oh, that's good. So, now here's the conjugation.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Did you say anything about the first word?
I simply said it was who is post positive adverb, therefore, then or now.
OK， 这个字 ，what does the post positive mean?
That means usually after the
OK，
verb, I guess, after the verb.
这个字是用在动词后面，就是所以 那么现在的意思，那下面旁边右边那个字呢的意思也是副词了，就是就这样，就是这样，就是所以。
Notice the present middle passive subjunctive of Leo. Leo is, here's the form. What's his first one?
是172页，172页这现在。
Leo mine, right? That means I loose myself, or I am loose. See, the middle and passive are the same form.
I'm loose.
I loose myself, or I am loose. If it's passive, it's I am loose. Then I might be loose.
这个现在是在讲现在中间或还有被动假设这个字的意思，这怎么写法？所以第一个就是我I lose myself， 我失去我自己，或者是这样。
And since it's subjunctive, we should really say that I might lose myself, that I might be loose, that I might possibly be subjunctive.
所以就是说我因为这是一个假设句子，所以就是说我可能会失去我自己。
What is, or you might lose yourself or be loose?
然后现在说你可能会失去你自己。
Where's the accent?
略，重音
Okay.
在第一个字。
And he, she, or it, that he, she, or it might be loose or loose
就是说
themselves.
他，男性他、女性他，或者是那个中性他、没有性的他这怎么念？第三个字怎么念？
How would you say this one?
你要怎么念？
Then we might lose ourselves or be loose.
然后现在是讲那个我们也可能会失去我们自己。
How would that be? And then you plural might lose yourself or be loose.
你们多数可能会失去你们自己。
And then they might lose themselves or be loose.
他们可能失去他们自己，或者
Leon type. All right. Now, as it says here, the middle and passive forms are alike.
他说这个中间式和过去式都一样的，一个样子。
So the context will determine whether it's middle or passive.
所以是看那个上下文决定这是中间式或者是被动式。所以刚才我只翻了那个中间式，那被动式就是你们自己去想想。
Now, this is called a mode sign. Remember the indicative mode, passive mode. The mode sign omega or eta.
所以他说在决定这是什么式 ，OK， 这是什么式这 mode 实式。
In other words, in the middle passive, you have the omega for Luomai instead of Luomai with the omicron. That's the sign of the middle and passive, that omega sign.
Because I missed it. So therefore, because it is
It changes from omicron to omega. That shows you it's subjunctive. That's the sign of the subjunctive.
but
The same way over here.
original word has omega there.
I know, but in the regular indicative mode, you have an omicron.
Omicron. Okay.
See, but now when subjunctive, it changes omicron to the omega.
But 172, second line of 172, isn't that omega?
Oh, yes. That's omega, but see, this mode sign in the middle of the verb, normally it's omicron. If it's regular active voice, but if it's middle or passive, that omicron shifts to omega. That shows you it's middle and passive.
OK， 他说这个字原文的话，在这个主动的是omicron， 然后现在呢，因为是表示是中间式或者是被动式，所以呢就 就改成就改成 omega 和 eta， 所以yeah。
That shift occurs in three places: first person singular, first person plural, and third person plural. See, omega, omega, omega.
I still confused.
Yes.
Because I have to read back. Because it says it's the same as in active mode. So therefore, in active mode, you have this omega.
Yes, the mode sign is the same as in the active.
So they're the same.
Well, if it's middle and passive, yes. If it's middle and passive,
It's the same as the active mode.
well, it's the same as the,
Active, that's what it says.
well, it's a mode sign, but it's a different, well, take a look at your active middle. So go back to page what? You see the
我
active
的问题是说，因为这个我刚才翻译的
present
用
indicative middle.
因为在这个字，它这地方是在讲这个时事，这个事的那个mode，他说要表示的是在中间或者是
Page
被动，
46, I believe.
他现在跟那个主动的是一模一样。那他说我们去看 page 46， 我们去看第46式，
47, maybe.
对，46和47页。
That's imperfect indicative. I want the present indicative.
他要看现在的那个现在的
Maybe 39. Present indicative. Passive.
Where is it? Page what?
39.
39, okay.
Present indicative. Passive.
Okay, page 40, it shows what there. Okay, no one. All right. Well, I think what it means is that the vowel after the lu, it's omicron in the active and omega in the middle and passive. I think that's what it's trying to say. What page are we on now so far?
I missed what you're saying. Are we supposed to go to see active?
What page are we on here? I missed my page. We're on page, paragraph 1.
73, that's on page 37.
173, all right.
76.
I think what it's saying is the mode sign, when you see in this area here,
Yeah.
first singular, first plural, and third plural, that's where you distinguish whether it's active voice or mood or subjunctive voice. This is because it changes into the omega instead of the omicron.
Okay, you're saying, are you saying in active mode it is omicron?
If it's an active mode, it's omicron, like a luamai,
OK， 他是说，所以我就翻译他讲的 OK。
but it changes in the subjunctive mode to an omega, omicron to omega.
他说在那个
And the same in first plural, same in third plural.
So because it's subjunctive mode, so it
That's right, it makes it into an omega.
他说 so it,
Middle or
so
passive?
in indicative mode is omicron. You're saying that?
Middle or passive, I think it's middle or passive.
Right. The original is
Active,
active.
active, yeah. Present, active.
我就翻译他
And
讲
also maybe middle and passive, maybe omega. But the point is, whenever you can see the middle and passive subjunctive, you have the omegas in three places.
OK， 他要讲说在那个中间式和被动式的时候，那个 omicron 改成 omega。OK， 我就翻译他讲的。
And sometimes you have eta in the other places, in second singular, third singular, and second plural. Eta, eta, eta. You see that's a subjunctive move when you see eta in that place.
所以在第二人称跟第三人称不管是单数多数，那就改成 a 的。再如果是假设。
When you see the omega in these three places, 1, 2, 3, or the eta in these three places, 1, 2, 3, you know it's subjunctive move or move.
When you see omega in these three places.
First person singular, first plural, third plural.
OK。
Omega, omega, omega.
对，所以在那个第一人称 单数跟第一人称多数，还有第三人称多数omega 的话，你知道这是一个假设式。
Or 8 in 3 places, second singular, third singular, and second plural. We know that's subjunctive.
所以你看，在第二人称单数、第二人称多数，第三人称的单数，那个地方是 A 的。
And so the personal endings in primary, middle, and passive are mentioned there. So pass on this subjunctive first person plural used in exhortations. Let's take a look at 174.
现在我们来看174。
Whenever you have a subjunctive like "let us rejoice in the truth," that's in the exhortation.
所以那个这个在我们现在174，他说那个假设在第一人称的假设多数是在用这种情形，这种句子是用在你的劝勉所以那个例子是说让我们一起在真理中欢喜。
So what is the word for rejoice here?
这地方那个欢喜rejoice 是
What's
什
the
么？
word for rejoice here?
这地方是什么？
开了，
或者是
Not kai.
开面
开了，
Now notice the thematic vowel is omega, which shows you subjunctive.
你看到那地方有那个 omega， 所以表示这是假设。
Remember, he says subjunctive first person plural is used in exhortation. Let us rejoice.
所以他们用这种假设第一人称多数用来劝勉，然后就是让你开心，让你喜乐。
Word for in,
然后
and, all right. The word for thee, they, and word for truth. What's your accent?
地呀，阿雷地呀，阿雷地
Not e.
地呀，
What's your vowels?
阿雷地
What's your accent?
地呀，
Ale, not thea. Aletheia.
地呀，
What gender is thea aletheia?
他说对呀，那个他姓什么？是
What
阳
gender?
性性 feminine。
Feminine. That's right. It's habitate. And what voice? Excuse me. What voice? What case?
它
What
是什
case
么
is
格？
thea
是
aletheia?
什么格？
Located is How do you know
是
that?
方位，一个格跟
We'll go to
他说是
subscript.
方位还有
Let us
格。
rejoice in the truth.
他说让我们一起在真理欢喜。
Let's take a look at the second example.
Excuse me?
Yes, yes.
Can you explain one more time what the first word means and the last word?
The Heidelman,
Yeah, the first word, yes. What does that mean?
That means let us rejoice.
第一个字是说让我们欢喜
And the last word, in the truth.
然后最后一个字是在真理头。
All right? Let's move on to this next illustration. Subjunctive uses exhortations. The word is let us not speak evil things.
所以现在这一行字是说让我们不要说坏话
What's this word for
或
not?
恶言，
May
May, okay? And speak?
说
Lego May
Not may.
Legma
Legoman. Lego man. Then the word for evil.
坏恶事
What number is that?
Evil.
Singular or plural?
Ah,
Plural,
yes.
kaka.
是多数，他说才是多数。
It's all right. It's plural. The word then, let us not speak, may, legomet, kaka, evil things. That word is a subjunctive, so it's let us not speak.
所以是假设说这是劝勉，就是那 what is may is God
May not.
啊，
Let us
是
not.
may 第一个字的意思是说不要。
All right. It mentions 175. Many verbs of Greek are followed by the genitive case, many by the dative case.
他说许多在希腊文许多动词是后面就有那个就是是跟的就是所有格。
In English, we follow by the objective case.
那他说在英文我们通常是受格。
So the case is accented or
我
emphasized.
所以格，他们很强调格。
For instance, he hears the voice.
比如说，我们现在看这个例子啊，下面的例子
What is the word
他
for,
听见的
what's
声
the
音
word for he hears?
是175有一段，
Kue, all right. And then the word for thee,
然后那冠词，
and the word for voice,
然后声音，
phonetics.
phonates. Now notice the direct object, usually if he hears, voice would be accusative. But here it's what case is this?
他说这什么格？
What case is this?
Genitive.
Genitive. That's
Has
a
a
genitive or
soil.
active case.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's the way the Greeks do it. We normally have an objective case, the voice, but here it's, he hears of the voice.
第二个，他通常在英文里头这是一个受格，可是他们希腊人喜欢是所有格，所以就是说他听，我的英文很难翻译，在中文他听见那个声音就是听见谁听见的声音，听见声音的，然后 what is the first word？
He hears.
hears 第一个字是听，他听。
He hears the voice.
他听见声音。
Notice this interesting distinction when you have of the voice or genitive after hears, you just hear the sound. There's a sound. You don't understand it. You just hear the sound.
他说 What do you mean?
You just hear some sound. For instance, I'll be talking in Spanish. Hablo español, whatever. You hear the sound, you don't understand it.
他说 That's what it means.
That's just, if it's in a genitive, it just hears the sound, but you do not comprehend what is being said.
他说在这个所有格的时候，你听见声音的意思是说，你听见声音就是声音，听见，但是你不懂这个声音的意思。
When the Apostle Paul was saved by the Lord on the road to Damascus,
当那个使徒保罗在到大马士的路上的时候，
those who were with him just heard the sound.
跟他在一起的，他跟他随行的人听见声音。
Paul, why do you persecute me?
他说保罗，你为什么逼迫我？
They did not hear what was being said, they just heard some noise.
他们不懂，他们没有听懂那个声音里的话，就是听到声音。
Now if you have a cool with the meaning comprehended,
假设你听懂那个声音的话
then you，have some other case.
那个格就不一样
For
了。
instance, we believe him.
比如说，这个现在是七页第一个例子啊，是我们相信他。
In other words, if this had been in the accusative case,
比如
name
说，
for name, then they would understand what was being said.
换句话说，刚才那个175页最后那个例子，如果是那个受格的话，那就表示他们听懂那个话的意思。
Let's give another illustration of we believe him, not using the accusative. Start with the word believe.
第一个字也是相信，
What is this word for
怎
believe?
么念？
What's your accent?
Tell me.
Bestowment. This word here.
下面那个字
Not two. What's your accent?
first 重音在哪里？第一节
Not true. What's your accent?
重音在哪里？
Oh, toe.
重音在第二节，对不起。
Rough breathing or smooth? Smooth breathing.
是不吐气。
Right? Bestowment, outro. We believe him. Normally be accusative, but sometimes it's in the locative instrument.
So the last word, the second word is him, right?
Yes.
Okay. 第二个字是他的受词。
All right, and this, he answered he answers the child, for instance.
第二个例子是他回答那个孩
What's
子，
this word for answers?
这个就是回答。
他的
What's your accent?
重心在哪里？
Apoclenita. This word for thee.
然后那个动词
To, and this word for child.
孩子，
Techno. What case is to techno?
这个 techno 这个是什么格？
接着是
Genitive?
接着
Locative. Who's right? Genitive or locative instrumental? How do you know that's locative
这是
instrumental?
tell。
If you go to subscript and got that, lots of things, that tells us it's that. So, anytime to techno, he answers the child.
因为底下有那个小尾巴，所以是那个方位格或者是鱼格，还有另外那个什么格？
Technically, he
还有
answers,
是
he
离
answers
格。
to the child, but we say he answers the child.
好 ，OK。
In English, they put it in the accusative, but they put it in the locative instrumental D.
OK，在英文里头是他就是这个受词，他回答那个孩子，可是，在希腊文就是他对那个孩子回答。
All right, there's another one. I serve him. What's his first word for serve?
然后底下那个就是我侍奉他，第一个就是侍奉，
What is it?
Leo
Level. Okay. Level. Word for him.
然后他的另外一个他
I'm told. What case is I'm told?
是什么格？
instrumental
Locative instrumental and D. Okay.
是那个方位格
We
或
could
者是气
translate
体格
I
或者是
serve
格，
for him.
就是我为他侍奉。
In English, we say I serve him.
英文就是受词，我侍奉他。希腊文就是说我为他侍奉，我侍奉为他，
Any questions on that? Yes,
没
sure.
问题。
When you say the present subjunctive active, so usually you put hina, hina. That means may something. But why in the 174, the second sentence, they didn't have that word? They only have not, but they don't have may. They don't have a.
The henna. Well, you don't have to use henna all the time. You just use it when you want to in order to that. See?
But how do you know that the sentence may, like may something?
Oh, may. No, the negative in the subjunctive is always may, not who. That's all. The negative, the no word in subjunctive is always may.
So every time I say moon, that means may not, or in order not, right?
那当然是 may，
No, may is not in the subjunctive. Whenever you have a not, use the word may rather than who. It's just a
No, because I confused the ina, so it should be
henna.
Hina. Hina means like a may something, right? In order. Something.
No, in order that.
In order
Henna is
that.
in order that, yes.
So in this sentence, every time if so it should be aina something, right?
Henna,
Yeah, aina something.
but it doesn't have to be negative. He came in order that people might be saved. There's no negative. In order that people might be saved, it's positive, but you have a him there. Any other questions you may have?
没问题。
All right, let's move on then to some of these exercises.
我们再去做练习，谢谢。
Word for
176，
Did we cover this yet?
Yeah.
What this word for believe is?
我相信。第一个就是第一题，第一大题的第一个小题的第一题，
What's this
第
word?
四，第三
Pistelme.
Pistellum, okay. That means we believe. Then this word for thee.
然后换词，
To.
What's the word for? Okay, to, and the word for Lord.
主，
Pipiu.
What's your answer?
Pipiu.
Rio. What case is to?
是什么格？
What case?
什么格？方位格
Remember, David.
Yes，是方位格或者是气质格或者
Your
是
subscriptive choices. So this gentleman talked with you, we believe in the Lord.
就是我第一个例子，第一个是我们相信主。
And then number 2, the word
第二个
for we love is what?
爱，
Approve.
Go with it. Go with it. Right? The word for in or for, by,
Report.
为的是
is that
Report.
rock reading or
People.
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 Report.
reference to agreement?
它应该是气
Right, okay, so it is what again?
People.
Depart. And the word for thee? Come on, right, thee. Come on, then what's the word for apostle?
Apostles.
Apostolic. Apostolic.
Apostolic.
Apostolic.
That's what you owe. Not your own, not own. Apostolo. It's a hard one. So in other words, I told myself, we go by the apostles. We go relieved by the apostles.
We go.
We go relieved. I'll go, man.
I don't understand. I thought the first one is love.
Well, I thought it was I go maybe, but it must be to lead, I go.
To lead.
To lead, yeah, we lead by the apostles.
We led by the apostles.
Agape is love, but this is like I go, which is to lead or to go.
So
We go by the apostles.
we go by the apostles.
Or we are led, if you want to. We are led
我
by the
们
apostles.
被使徒带领。
All right, any other questions on 1 or 2? All right, number 3.
第三题，
According to is what? Kathos.
Kathos.
That's right, kathos.
第一个是
And the
根
word
据
for that? Again, we'll stop right here, take 10 minutes, we'll see you back in 10.
我们休息10分钟。